The weather really suits the topic of today's video.
With what's on the line today, I'm watching the biggest football match in the country. This weekend, Aberdeen play Hibs. The last time they played each other was an absolute cracker. Rangers, they're at home to Dundee, fresh after the League Cup final against Celtic. Rangers are in good form now and trying to hunt down their rivals. Tomorrow, Hearts St Johnstone, a huge game at the bottom of the Scottish Premiership. Dundee United v Celtic. Celtic trying to remain unbeaten this season. Even in the Championship, Falkirk Hamilton, Livy Ayr, there's some huge games at the top of that division. But in my opinion, the biggest football match in the country this weekend is right at the foot of League Two. We have Clyde versus Forfar in what is one of the most important football matches in the history of both of these clubs. So yeah, homeless Clyde play here at Hamilton. The amount of games I've been here at Hamilton, I've never been down here. And I can see some graffiti or something. I wonder if it's Hamilton related or Clyde related. Right, there's a lot of stuff on these walls that I probably can't even show you, but can confirm that it is Hamilton Accies related. You can see right into the Accies Stadium from up here, and this might be my last video of the year. I'm not 100% decided yet. There's games on tomorrow, Sunday. Celtic are playing away to Dundee United, all the way to Dundee a few days before Christmas. Hearts are playing at home St Johnstone. That's a big game tomorrow, but I was just at Hearts during midweek, and I don't know, I might just call this a day now for the rest of the year. This video, I might do one or two in between Christmas and New Year, but I'm not 100% decided yet, so we shall see. How big is this? This is like the classic six-pointer, isn't it?
It really is. We've not been doing too well the last couple of games. Since Darren's came in, we've won a couple of games, thought we were on the upturn, but we've got a serious injury crisis just now. We only named 2 outfield players on the bench up at Elgin, so everyone's held together by tape really. So okay, today's a massive 6-pointer. That
was going to be my main question for you, was like, why has the form been so bad? But maybe if you've signed a lot of players and a lot of them haven't even kicked a ball, I wouldn't imagine, right? Because of the amount of injuries you've had.
We've got a fair few long-term injuries. So Lee Connolly's been out, Kyle Connell's been in and out of the team, not really been getting a run for match fitness. But yeah, we've got, you know, Lee Hamilton, our captain, he's held together by tape just now.
For yourselves, if you were to finish in that bottom position, obviously Stranraer beat East Kilbride in the playoff last year to survive as an SPFL club. Would you worry for Clyde if you were to ever be in that bottom position, not just to play in the playoffs, but if you were to ever go down? Would you ever come back?
I think there's always that worry. Most of the Clyde support are still looking up. I don't think we're really worrying too much about
big club.
Club 42 just now. With the squad that we've got, they should be doing better, and we've all got faith in Darren Young to turn it around. But I think naturally, if you do end up in that 42, it's 2 games to, you know, look at your future. And as you've seen yourself in the Lowland League, that it's very difficult to get back up. Your Albion Rovers and your Cowdenbeaths.
Well, for Forfar, if they were to finish in there, they'd be in the Highland League with Brechin, wouldn't they? And
yeah, absolutely.
Those teams that have been in there.
More Angus derbies.
Right, so are you covering the game today for
the Daily Mail?
The Daily Mail. It's a huge one today, isn't it? Well, would you say this is the biggest game in the country today?
Well, what's at stake? I mean, everybody would say, you know, the further up the leagues you go, the more money's at stake. But this, I mean, for both clubs, you know, this is all about their future. I mean, what kind of future they might have. We know that falling out of this league, what that brings is very hard. In fact, it's been impossible to get back into it.
It has been, yeah.
So it's all in the line, and of course, Clyde have got attendant financial troubles as well.
I know that a lot of clubs would want, a lot of SPFL clubs in League 2 would want the relegation to be really hard, so it's harder for them to go down. But say you have a bad season, you do end up in the Lowland League or the Highland League if you were Forfar. The chances of you getting back are so hard. Would you, if you had the power to, would you open it up if you're one of these clubs? Because actually, if you were to go down, it's almost impossible to come back, whereas if you made it easier to go down, it's also easier to come back.
It's preservation, and all through the leagues we've noted, from the Premiership all the way down, that there's fail-safes for finishing second bottom. You know, there's fail-safes, even, I mean, you go down, but they try to put in fail-safes, playoffs, etc., make it more difficult to get into the league above. The big problem with teams like Clyde and Forfar and others is that the teams in the Highland League, at the top of the Highland League, and the teams at the top of the Lowland League are very strong, very ambitious, and have got money, and
well backed,
and really well backed. and they go. I mean, I know East Kilbride lost to Stranraer last year, but that was almost a surprise, Sam. I mean, I know we were at both games, and that was, that was almost a surprise that Stranraer actually survived.
It was a little bit. East Kilbride missed a lot of chances, didn't they? But they dug in Stranraer.
Stranraer worked really hard, dug in, got there. But you've got to be seeing a lot of these playoffs now that whoever comes out the playoff between the Lowland League and the Highland League would be favourites to beat the bottom team in the League 2.
You know what time it is. Boom. Come on. Get a load of this. Right, you ready? So today we're watching a game here in League 2 between two teams who are trying not to go down to the Lowland League. This is a stadium that has hosted Premiership games as recently as like 2020, 2021, when Hamilton, the home side, were actually a Premiership club. They're now a Championship club, and last season they won the playoffs from League 1 to get to the Championship. So this is a former Premiership stadium, now home to a Championship club who last season were in League 1. Today we're watching a League 2 game between two teams who don't want to go down to the 5th tier, the Lowland League. This stadium has seen it all.
Come on, Clyde!
Ball boy for Clyde, play for Clyde, Clyde fan, Clyde through and through. How worried are you about where the club are?
Very worried.
Do you worry that if they go down they'd never come back from the Lowland League?
I'm hoping they do.
And this is a 6-pointer today against Forfar, who are right there. What do you reckon for today? What's the score going to be?
2-0 Clyde.
How was the journey down today? It's good commitment coming here this time of year.
No, it was good. It's not too bad. The roads weren't too busy, and it was quite enjoyable.
And so this has got to feel like one of the biggest games you've had in a long time, I suppose. Bottom 2 of the League 2, and
We need the points on the board and hopefully move up to 8th.
For sure,
And stay in the Football League. Don't want to be going to the
Highland League. I know. What do you reckon the score will be today then?
2-0 Forfar.
2-0 Forfar. Are you as confident?
2-1 Forfar.
In the padded seats. Found the padded seats. I like it. Is there many padded seats at Forfar?
Is there? Yeah, there's an option in the stands.
Is there? So how were you feeling going into today then?
Confident.
You confident? Yeah. Even though not having the best of seasons, but.
I know, but Jim Weir's turned it around. So.
Oh, and I was just leaving these lot down here to make my way up to get a better view, and Clyde are already 1-0 up. Yes, happy with that goal?
Yeah.
And where do you think you'll finish in the league this season then?
7th.
7th? Look at that lifts Clyde to 8th, and Forfar are down in the bottom now. Quite a drift look if they lose today, but they do have a game in hand on a couple of teams down there. Stranraer getting dragged down, Bonnyrigg still in the conversation, same as Spartans as well. Look, it is quite tight, even up to Edinburgh City, only 10 points between them and bottom. So yeah, look at this, the support that Clyde have. Even though we're in Hamilton, they've played in Cumbernauld for about 20 years, and they're originally a Glasgow club. You've got to respect the people that have been supporting them probably for years. There's maybe some locals here from Hamilton, there's maybe some that started supporting when they were in Cumbernauld, but they do get great crowds for this level, despite all the stadium changes, the town changes, how bad the football team have been the last couple of years in terms of their league position, but still, they come out and support. Oh, there's a promising start after 1 minute. I was finding my way up to where I was going to stand for the first few minutes of the game as I was chatting to the Forfar fans, and as I was walking up the stand, Clyde scored. And when you think, oh, a goal goes in after the first minute, it was the only goal in the SPFL for like the first 10-15 minutes today. But since then, not a huge amount has happened. As you've probably seen from this video, it's cold. There's a few people literally falling asleep around me right now. But yeah, we need this game to pot up a little bit. Really good chance for Forfar. Clyde are honestly such a big team. They've got an incredible history. They've played top division football. So for their fans to see them struggling in a 1-0 win so far, obviously they're winning right now, but Forfar have had their chances to see their team in this position must be crazy for a few of their older fans, especially. It's half time, and yeah, despite the early goal, not a huge amount happening. There's a couple of chances maybe either side, but it's all a little bit random in the final third. There's no real like quality of anyone trying to like pick up the ball and do something incredible. You feel like if there's going to be a chance, it's going to be a slip, or maybe just like a cross into the box that someone meets, but we're waiting for that little spark of magic. I guess that's the beauty of Scottish League 2. Like, it is a little bit more random, but yes, let's hope for a couple more goals in the second half. That's a League 2 tackle, that. Oh. Come on, beat the first man. Let's beat the first man. Let's beat the keeper as well. Finally, there you go. A decent corner. Not seen one of them in ages on this channel. That's a pretty big goal in the history of this football club. He scored? Ready, yeah. Big goal that at the bottom of League 2. Bit of confidence as well going into next week against Stranraer. Yeah. Look at that corner flag.
Goalie.
Oh, what's happening there? Oh. I didn't even see what was happening.
Should have been a goal.
Oh, no, how's the heart rate now after that?
Young down, goalie.
Massive win for Clyde. Happy with that, yeah?
Oh, dear.
Yes. Nice. Really good to meet you, mate.
Yeah,
always good.
good.
Good to chat throughout the game. How big is that win for you?
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, I think we've played a lot better this season and come away with nothing. So to keep a clean sheet and win, it's massive.
How was it to play? Because it looked like quite a scrappy game out there.
The weather conditions weren't great with the wind. It was a game of two halves, but I thought we kept the defence tight, which hadn't been the case in the last two games. Kept a clean sheet and scored 2 good goals. And the fans as well, they really come out in their numbers, even though it's like freezing cold, like you say, and you're playing out here in Hamilton. The club have had a lot of different locations down the years. Have you got a message for the fans who still come out to support? Yeah, keep following us. I know it hasn't been great this season, but I know it's a good group of boys here, and we will turn it around, and we will be up there in the playoffs this season.
There we go, Clyde TV. Everyone going, where can they check this out then?
So Clyde TV is on the YouTube, that's the rebrand, and then just the Clyde TV live stream, 30-day passes.
So fans from around the world can watch Clyde live.
We're going to try and have a big push to have a kind of global audience as well.
Who's your furthest afield Clyde viewer, do we think?
We've got Australian fans, we've got fans in America.
You've won the league twice as manager,
once
as a player. How much will your experience help Clyde this season?
I hope a lot. Obviously come in here and it's, again, things haven't been too great, but at the same time it's just trying to, there's a lot of draws, so trying to turn those draws into wins and again start to pick up points. Again, we've managed to kind of do that, a couple of win, draw and a loss, and then we've started to get a couple of wins now. Last week maybe not as great with the 2 defeats, but again we kind of felt we knew where we'd kind of gone wrong. We felt we were kind of too exposed when we were attacking ourselves, so we tried to be that wee bit harder to beat. Also helps that our first kind of couple of attacks we then go and score the first goal of the day, and it gives us a kind of lead to hold on to, because you then find other teams then have to come out and leave space in behind. So no, it's again, for me coming in and looking forward to it, but again just today delighted to get the 3 points, delighted to get the clean sheet and get us up the table a bit.
You started out today, it was the bottom 2 that were playing, you're now in 8th. Are you now sort of starting to look up the table a little bit?
Yeah, no, we're always looking up, but at the same time you need to kind of walk before you can run, and if your side of view, or point of view, sorry, again we need to kind of beat one game at a time, and I know it's an old cliche, but you can see the way the league's been. A couple of weeks ago we were playing East Fife top of the table, we beat them, and then the week after Peterhead are top of the table, we beat them. So anyone in any position in this league,
it's about kind of on the day. You need to make sure we turn up on the day. Yeah, it would be a lot easier if we had to kind of get injuries back and we didn't have guys who are kind of putting their bodies on the line. But again, it's all credit to them, and it shows their character and how hard they're working and doing for the team and for the club to kind of soldier on through while we have this situation with the amount of injuries that we have.
Clyde are definitely a club that should be at least in the Championship, in my opinion. They're a big club, and in the season that Celtic won the European Cup, 1967, it was the same season that Rangers reached the European Cup Winners' Cup final. They were the top two in Scotland, Celtic and Rangers. Guess who was third? It was Clyde. Clyde were only behind the two teams that reached European finals that season, and now they're scrapping it out down the bottom of League Two, and there's loads of former junior clubs who are now up in the leagues well above them. So yeah, for Clyde, I wish they can get a new stadium. I wish they can get back up the leagues. They've got an amazing fan base of people who have been supporting through thick and thin, mainly thin down the years, and yeah, I feel for them guys. But yes, a good result for them today. Some really good people working at that club, and yeah, the manager, players, and all the people behind the scenes I always meet. A massive thanks for everything. Whenever I go and see them, they're always so good and so welcoming, as are most clubs in Scotland, let's be honest. And Forfar, it's looking pretty bleak for them down the bottom of the league. They are, if they were to get relegated, I know there's a lot of football still to play, they might not even finish in that bottom position. Then they've got playoffs to play to even possibly go down. It's not like if you finish bottom you get automatically relegated. If they do though, they'd be in the Highland League with Brechin and all the other teams that have been traditionally Highland League teams down the years. So it is imperative for them that they don't get relegated, because it's so hard to come back. I always say it, these teams that are in the league right now that are voting for it to be closed off and for there to be very little relegation, they should vote for it to be opened up, because one bad season they get relegated, they ain't ever coming back. Whereas if they open it up and it's just the league winners that come up, it's a lot more of an easier task, isn't it, to actually come back. So whilst it might be self-preservation for now, in the long run I think it's going to hurt all these clubs, because they'll come down, they'll never come back, like Albion Rovers, like Cowdenbeath, like Berwick, like East Stirlingshire, and like Brechin, who have all yet to come back. So yeah, I'm hugely passionate about this level of football. I want to see it opened up. I would love to see it breathe a little bit, but I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon. I did mention earlier on in this video, this might be my last video of the year. Since that, I've already edited, like, up to this outro now, I've already planned another video. So there is at least one more coming for 2024, possibly two. Then I've got a big trip coming up at the start of 2025 that I cannot wait to bring you on. So make sure you all subscribe, make sure you hit that like button. I hope you have a great Christmas. This will probably be my last video before Christmas, actually. So everyone watching this pre-Christmas, hello, huge thanks for all the support this year, 2024. It's been an absolute mad one with the warm-up and everything that we've done on this channel. So I really appreciate you watching. I hope you appreciate the content. I'm going to keep bringing it to you guys for as long as humanly possible. I absolutely love what I do, and I love you all, so thank you so much for all the support, and I hope you have a good one wherever you are around the world.